Hundreds of teenagers rampaged near Millennium Park in Chicago on Saturday night. 2 were shot during the fray and 15 people were arrested. We speak with Jayson Johnson, president of the Law Enforcement Legal Defense Fund, to hear his response to the incident and to the larger issue of rising crime rates in our country. Jayson Johnson, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
As a former law enforcement officer of over 20 years, what do you make of the incident that occurred in Chicago this past weekend and the city's response to it?
Well, you know, it's troubling. It creates a real sense in Chicago and frankly in other cities where similar patterns are emerging, where young people are taking to the streets and destroying property and instilling fear in people in these communities. I think it's emblematic, really, of a loss of control. Police no longer are empowered to enforce the law, to create systems of accountability so that you can't just take to the streets and destroy property with impunity. And, you know, it's a disturbing trend that we're seeing not only in Chicago, but in other cities as well.
Violent crime and overall lawlessness is on the rise throughout the country. In your opinion, what's causing this trend?
You know, it's really, I think, 2 main ingredients here. One is that police have been disempowered. The police are in fear of doing their jobs now. They don't want to be the next viral video. Police leaders are actually encouraging police officers to disengage. They've made police officers feel fearful, frankly, to do their job. The second ingredient here is lax enforcement by district attorneys' offices. You know, we've had district attorneys elected across the country. Chicago is one city, but there are many others where district attorneys have been elected on a platform of not holding people accountable, by promising to not recommend jail time, even for violent offenders, and really to limit their traditional prosecutorial actions on police officers. So in other words, to focus on prosecuting police officers and to the exclusion of most others. And I think those are the 2 main ingredients of what we're seeing, both in young people taking over the streets and in young and older people engaging in acts of violent crime, shootings, robberies, carjackings, and the like.
Jayson Johnson, president of the Law Enforcement Legal Defense Fund, thank you.
Thanks for having me.